welcome back to my podcast. I'm your host, Vivian, and this is my podcast, The Lonely Fake Club, where the title really doesn't make sense, so neither does this podcast. On this week's episode, I was really struggling with what I wanted to talk about. There was a few things, but I realized one of the things I did want to talk about, because I normally do like a reading wrap-up by the end of this month, or by the end of the months, is like kind of what I wanted to do. But I do think I want to make that like a main video, like for like a regular YouTube video instead of like a podcast episode. So I decided to move on from that and do something that I've been really wanting. Hold on, let me scoot this. Sorry, she's just like not doing it for me today. I decided to record this later in the evening, or not in the evening, like in the afternoon, because I'm trying to do like this new thing of waking up with intention of like not getting on my phone and drinking water, and I've been doing really good about that. But we went on spring break, so obviously we were just having a lot more fun, and we slept in a lot, which sucks because that kind of like messed up my sleeping schedule, but I'm getting back into it. And so with the other, when I'm okay girl, calm down. I get tripped over like this whenever I'm talking, like even to my friends. I think it's so weird. But what I'm trying to say is, because my sleeping schedule got so messed up, it was really hard for me to like get back into it, so I had to start taking my melatonin again. And I've taken melatonin a few times in my life. I took it a lot in college because I had such a horrible sleeping schedule. I messed it up so bad that melatonin was like the only way for me to really get a restful night's sleep. There is one specific melatonin that I just loved so much, and we just bought it recently. Not recently, I mean like a few months ago. And what sucks is that they don't make it anymore. It's one of the Ollie ones. It was green apple flavored, and it was like restful sleep or something. I don't know what was in that melatonin, but it shut my brain off. Like, that's one of the big things that I struggle with when I'm trying to go to sleep, is trying to turn my brain off, because you see those memes where people talk about it and they're like, when your brain tries to remind you of like that one embarrassing thing that you did in like middle school, and that's like all you can think of. That's like my brain, but a million times worse. I think it has to do with my anxiety that I have. So it's just like, just amped up. And I know a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot of people have like said it's like contributed to like always using their phone right before bed. So I really try to like, if I'm going to go to sleep, I'm going to put my phone down, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to count sheep. I am going to try and turn my brain off, and melatonin has really helped with that. But that melatonin, I am on the hunt for it now because I found it at TJ Maxx. I know how some people probably feel about taking stuff like that from TJ Maxx, but it's melatonin, and I check the ingredients. The cap is always sealed. I do my due diligence. So when I found it and it was so good, I wanted to find it again. Come to find out, they have discontinued it. And that's why it was at TJ Maxx. So now every time I go, which is rare now, because also I've gone down the rabbit hole of overconsumption and things like that. And I've always been somebody who like don't look at that stuff. I don't look at that. But I've always been somebody who if I don't wear the clothes, they're gone. I'm selling them, I'm donating them. I don't use this, I'm throwing it away. And I'm also somebody who's also very sentimental with the things I have. I still have stuff from high school, but it's like the 2 pictures that you took with your class, like the big panoramic. I have that. I have my yearbook. I have stuff from high school, like from my theater department, that I still keep because it's fun. It's like the magic that we used to give out to each other, and something I got at my senior banquet, and like awards that I've gotten throughout the years that I like have sentimental value to. I think it's just stuff like that I can hold on to, but I have a whole bag of stuffed animals from people I don't talk to anymore or stuff like that. So I'm just like, I need to get rid of them, and I'm trying to find the right place to give that to. But anyways, But the melatonin has given me the much needed rest that I need. But the other thing that comes with the downside of taking some melatonins is that some of them are a lot higher dosage than you think. And I think something that I messed up on like the first couple times that I tried melatonin. I kind of just picked it up and took one when I should have been taking two, or I should have just taken 1.5, or found a smaller dosage. Yes. But what I'm trying to segue into, even though I've like went on this whole ramble, is that they give you horrible dreams. And like, I know there's like a whole Reddit about melatonin dreams, and I've been on it, I've typed in it. But melatonin dreams are really, really scary. And I think that's something that I have noticed that I don't have as much anymore, but I do still get them on a rare occasions. But the most recent ones that I've had, and I'm going to talk about one specific dream that I had reoccurring. I haven't had it in years now, so I'm kind of like, okay, maybe she's good, but I'm scared that I might get her again. And I've told this story to so many people when we talk about dreams and like things like that, because this might sound crazy, but I know there's a lot of people out there who will probably believe me. But a lot of the times my dreams they give me deja vu. Not because I felt it, because I know it's about to happen. And then when it does happen, and it's like little things, it's not like anything where I'm like predicting like a big catastrophic event. I'm like predicting like my next week, like what I'm doing that next week and what's going to be happening. Or like what I'm staring at. And like, it's something that I've talked to with people in like the TikTok comments and like stuff like that, but I've never really discussed. I do think it's stemming from my anxiety disorder as well, because it's like me trying to predict what's going to happen next and like stuff like that. But some people really do think that they like can predict the future, like those minor events and stuff like that. I don't think I'm ever going to have the honor of having that sort of like psychic dream, I guess you could say. But one specific dream that I used to have a lot, I think mostly in high school, maybe a little bit into college. I think I had it one time in college. I like to call it my zombie dream, because it is about zombies. And if I remember correctly, I wasn't even watching like The Walking Dead or Z Nation or anything like that. I wasn't watching any zombie related TV shows back then, because that's something I also thought was like, maybe I was just watching a lot of Walking Dead, and that's why I picked up on it and was like, I'm gonna have this zombie dream because that's the media I'm consuming at the moment. Sorry, I'm just talking really fast because I'm like, this is a topic I've always been really like, not niche about, but something that I love getting to learn about. And every time I wake up and I have like a specific dream, I always Google it. I'm like, why did I have snakes in my dream? Why did I have this in my dream? Why do I keep seeing the same person I haven't talked to in 8 years in my dream? But my zombie dream, I feel like it changes every time because it's been so long since I've had the said dream. But like, I remember specific points, and like when I really try to think about it, I can like vividly imagine it in my head, which is so weird because, again, like I've said, I haven't had this dream in so long. But if I can remember it correctly, it's like, it's the zombie apocalypse that I understand. I remember the overwhelming sense of like dread that I had and things like that. Sorry, my cat just pulled up. Hey. And I just remember I'm running away and I'm trying to find these people that I've been like with, like my pack, like I'm some alpha, like my group that I've been with. And I'm trying to find them. I'm trying to figure out where we're going. And essentially this horde is coming towards us. And I'm trying to fight them off. I'm doing my thing, whatever. And all I can remember is that one of them was like, you're with child. And I was like, what is this zombie doing talking to me? Because, like, zombies don't talk. Like, in every iteration that you can think of, like, besides some, like, sci-fi ones, zombies don't talk. So I was shocked when this zombie I just remember I'm sitting on top of a car and it's reaching up at me and it touches my stomach and it's like, you are with child. And I was like, what? I haven't had whatever. And I don't know, that's kind of really all I remember, genuinely. I wish I could say more about the dream. And I looked it up and there wasn't really anything about the dream. I think I was just consuming, like, a specific media about that, and it kind of was just lodged in my subconscious. But the thing is, like I've said, it reoccurred several times after I had that initial first dream. And it always stopped there after it, like, touched my stomach, essentially. So I don't know what any of that would mean. If somebody does, I would love to hear your comments on it. If you could message me or even just write it down below. It'd be really cool to know if there is any sort of, like, sorry, if there is any sort of, like, not justification, but, like, explanation to what that could have meant back then. But my melatonin dreams lately have always been, like, I either get nightmares or I either get, like, really hyper specific dreams that feel like I can feel the pain, I can feel the fear that I've had, and a lot of the times when they're the nightmares, they are nightmares. I wake up, like, screaming or I wake up crying. There are so many nights that my boyfriend could probably tell you where I wake up, like, jolting out of bed, or, like, I'm screaming or I'm trying to let go. A lot of the times the melatonin never gives me sleep paralysis, but I've gotten sleep paralysis a few times. Nothing, like, scary has truly happened to me, but the sleep paralysis, obviously, like, it's sleep paralysis, it's scary, it's something that no person really can truly explain, the sensation you're feeling, and most of the time I, like, can break myself out of it, so that's really nice to know. But dreams are scary, and I feel like a lot of the times people just talk up dreams to just, like, the neurons in your brain that are just firing off, and it's kind of like your own private movie theater. But a lot of the times I try to, sorry if that, like, last part has, like, such an abrupt ending. My dad likes to butt dial me sometimes, and so I saw it on my computer and he didn't pop up, so whatever. We're good now. What I was saying before was, like I said, a lot of people try to just chalk up dreams to your neurons firing. I do think that a lot of it is unexplainable, because you really can't explain why we have dreams and why humans have dreams and why we all seem to have different ones or similar ones, and it's just something that I feel like really connects us all as humans. It, like, at our core is that humans are all connected in some way, whether we like it or not. So yeah, I really like I like some of my dreams, because some of my dreams are really, really sweet. Like, I have dreams about my future and, like, future children, if I ever have any, or, like, the future that I would have with, like, my friends or my boyfriend, who I also think it's so weird that I've been dreaming about him more, because in the past I really never dreamt about him. I never really dreamt about exes or loved ones or really anything like that. The only ex that I really did dream about, like, that I unfortunately still do dream about, I think is because I never got closure from that relationship. I never got any sense of, like accountability, I guess you could say. I never really got to discuss it, and the breakup was like he ghosted me, essentially. So I think no matter how much I move on or how much I don't ever think about him, he's obviously somewhere back there in my subconscious, and I'm always replaying like what I could have done, what I would have done better, what if I did this or what if I did that, or how I would confront him or how I would beat him up, and things like that. So I think dreams are really cool, and I really like having dreams when they're not big scary ones. I typically forget my bad dreams pretty fast, which I'm really thankful for, because a lot of people say that their dreams stick with them like throughout the day. Um, Thankfully, I don't have that problem unless it's like a really fun dream. Like I had a dream where I was like a Power Ranger or something. Or like when you have dreams when you're flying and you can feel yourself fall and you like feel like it in your gut and stuff like that. I really enjoy those kinds of dreams because that's just like you get to do stuff you normally wouldn't be able to do in real life. I know there are some people out there who claim that they're able to like make up their own dreams. I forget what it's called. Where they like are aware they're in a dream and they can like manipulate the dream and stuff like that. I know some people who've claimed about it, and like I've seen videos and stuff like that, or people who like what is it called? It's like where they like shift to different realities. I think that's what? There's one TikTok creator that I don't follow, but she like pops up on my feed every time I watch something Marvel. But she like shifts over to the Marvel universe, which I think is so girl. And there are other people who like shift to like their favorite TV show or like Hogwarts and stuff like that, which I think is like, okay, girl, you do you. You know what? You have your fun. I'm gonna have my fun over here. So I think that like dreams really can be manipulated like that. I unfortunately just don't have the patience or the like desire to adapt my dreams. I think the most control I have over my dreams is that I'm able to wake myself up out of dreams, like especially when they're getting really like scary or dark, or I feel like I'm not gonna like survive it, I guess you could say. When I was really deep into my Criminal Minds like binge, when I was watching like 4 seasons in a month, had some really bad vivid dreams from that TV show where I was on the team, or I was a victim, or I was an unsub or something like that. So I kind of had to like hold off on Criminal Minds for a little bit, because it became so engraved in my brain, in my dreams, that all I was dreaming about was Criminal Minds. Which I think is so cool, but also so scary. So I've kind of had to like make sure I'm like consuming the right kind of media before I go to bed, and like I've said, like putting my phone down and really focusing on something else, like my breathing or counting sheep, to really like calm my brain down in order for me to not have dreams or to have a good dream. Which is really nice. Sometimes they are unpredictable, like always, like everything that has to do with the human body. You never really can truly understand it, unfortunately, because that's just what it is. Like, we will never fully understand everything that makes us humans and why we became humans and like stuff like that. I don't want to get too like conspiracy theorist or anything like that, because that's just not like me, I guess. But dreams are really cool. Dreams are really fun. I've always loved talking about them. I wish I had more examples. Like I used to always have this Cookie Monster dream when I was in high school where also this stems from being a theater kid and somebody who was too shy to be on stage in high school, who was too insecure within herself, and who just had a lot of stage fright, genuinely. So in high school, I always had this scary dream, I guess you could say, where there was one instance with the Cookie Monster where I was about to go on stage, but they told me, oh, actually, this person's gonna go on for you sorry. And I was like, what? This is the role I've been preparing for months. I was so excited to perform this. Come to find out, it's the Cookie Monster who's going on for me. Could I tell you what show? No. There was another dream where I think this was during a musical we were doing, and I was so devastated that I didn't really get into the musical. Oh, it was for Millie. Like I've said, I was the costume designer for it, but I so desperately wanted to do musical theater in high school. I even still wanted to do it in college, but I was still too chicken shit to do musical theater. I still am, but I will appreciate a good song. Karaoke hates to see me coming. The karaoke sings on YouTube hates to see me coming. But I wanted to be in Thoroughly Modern Millie so bad, and when I was casted as a one-liner. I had maybe 2 scenes, and I talked for 1. So I was obviously like really beating myself up over that, and so I had a dream where for some reason me, I was the lucky one when our lead actress, who wasn't my friend at the time, was the senior that I talked about before, where she got sick, she got hurt, I don't know, but for some reason it all landed back on me. They had to have me perform as the lead, and I was like, no, there's no way. They were like, you were in every rehearsal process, you were best friends with the last girl, you can go on with the script, please, 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 please. They put me in the costume, they do my makeup, I get the wig, I'm literally about to walk on stage, and I have to go get something. I don't really remember how this happened, but I'm about to go on, the song starts, I'm about to go run into places, and my director's there in full costume, hair, and makeup, and I was like, Miss, what are you doing? And she was like, I have to go on. And she goes on. She performs the whole musical. I'm sitting there like, mouth agape. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. I'm astonished. I'm like, what is happening here? And I think the dream ends like right around there when I realized my director is going on instead, which I think is so funny because like, of course I would dream that. Like, of course my anxiety-ridden 17-year-old body would dream of that scenario. And I had that dream, like, I've had similar dreams to that like several times, especially in college, where like the girl who we obviously all didn't like got the part, and we were like, oh, we all should do our own show, and like we all have our own show, and it's like my friends and I are in it, and she comes and she's like, why did you do this? You sold out and our auditorium's empty. You know, like dumb dreams like that. And some of them are really like I think just like to satisfy that like that I have in me of like, I'm not, okay, some people will probably deny this, but I'm not very confrontational, but if I need to be, I can be, but most of the time, if I can delegate and like really do like a peaceful kind of thing, I really can. I'm more of a talker rather than a fighter. Some people will probably assume I'm a fighter, but I'm not. I'm a baby. I'm a capital P, but I can talk your face off, and I can debate with you, and I can talk logically with you over and over and over again, until I feel as though I am satisfied with it. And if you feel like you won, you did it. I did. So a lot of the times in my dreams, that's where I get to like be a confrontational person and like say the things I wanted to say in the talk or like in the argument or whatever. Or I have a lot of dreams where if I'm listening to music before I go to bed, like my dream like coincides with that song. It's really cool, and I really like how dreams are so subjective and so like they're all so different, and there's some people who might actually have the same dreams as me, and I think that is so cool, like similar dreams with like different people, different scenarios, but I think it's so cool how dreams have always been a big part of human nature. So if you have any crazy dreams that you like that you just can't explain, or dreams that you're like, wait, this might mean something, let me know in the comments, because I would love to discuss dreams. It's one of my favorite niche things to talk about, especially when I'm like drinking, because like it's so fun getting to see like the inner workings of other people's minds. But I really don't have anything else left to say besides that. If I have like anything else I really need to say, I'll probably discuss it in next week's podcast. But if you guys like this podcast, please give it a huge thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Because I'm going to finish off this season, quote unquote, with 10 episodes and then give myself a little bit of a break. So this might be the second to last episode. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not going to be gone long. I just want to make sure that I'm like taking care of myself mentally and like really putting my best foot forward when I do this content creation. Like I've said before, I really want to prioritize me and like what I like. And I think if I just give myself a break in between the podcast like seasons, I think it'll really, really help me have more stuff to talk about. But again, like I've said, I love dreams. I'm so happy I actually got to talk about this specific topic this week. Like I said, give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below any of the crazy dreams, or even if you can explain some of mine to me, that would be great. But with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!